Hi everyone, I wanted to spend a little bit of time addressing the observation requirements for this course. As you know, there are 3 hours of observation that are required of the course, and so I wanted to talk about how you should break down your time observing so that you're able to document all of the information that you need to so you can be successful in completing the assignments that requires you to apply that observation information. So one of the assignments that you'll be using your observation information for is this observation strategies paper. Again, we highly recommend that you observe in the lab school at Harper, but I understand that some of you can't because you work full-time and you're unable to make it to campus during the hours that they require. So if you can't observe there, then you are free to observe at another location. Again, we just require that it either be NAEYC accredited or it has the gold circle of excellence through Accelerate. And you can click on these links here to be able to find a location that is convenient for you. So one of the things that you're going to be observing during your observation are different observation methods that you can collect data. So you can find out different information about children and their development using these different observation strategies. And so you're going to pick 4 of these observation strategies, and you're going to spend about an hour total, so about 15 minutes each on these different 4 strategies. And if you'd like to document more than 4 of these strategies, by all means go ahead and do that. But make sure that you spend enough time being able to get the information, the accurate information for each of these different things. I'm going to post a web link, this web link here that talks about a brief summary of different early childhood observation methods and techniques, and it goes over these different techniques. Now, we will be going over this information in the future as we start reading in our assessment textbook, which we'll get to in just a couple weeks. But if you wanted to get a jump start on this, if you've scheduled your observation hours and you need to go observe before we've started talking about this, then at least this is some basic information that you can use to help you. Another thing I wanted to mention is for your observation, you only need to focus on one child. So my recommendation would be to spend just a few minutes observing all the children whenever you get there, and then decide which child that you're going to pick as your focus point for your observation, because you'll be using information about that child for 2 different assignments, for this observation strategies paper and then for this authentic assessment project as well. And the authentic assessment project is a little bit more involved. What you're going to do is I will be showing you here in the next couple weeks how to access the HighScope Core Advantage assessment online, and you'll actually have a slot where you'll be able to document the developmental information that you observed for that child under the different categories that HighScope focuses on. And if you've taken ECE 115, then you're very familiar with these different categories because you went through those in the class. And so these are all the different categories that you'll be gathering information about: approaches to learning, social and emotional development, physical development and health, language, literacy and communication, mathematics, creative arts, science and technology, and social studies. Now, number 9 is English language learning. Now, this is only if appropriate. So if you happen to choose a child that's a second language learner, then you will need to document information in this category as well. And so again, since we haven't started talking about this Core Advantage assessment yet, I haven't shown you anything about this just yet, you don't need to know anything about how to use the online assessment itself to be able to collect the information in your observation. So in addition to this video and the website about the observation strategies, I'm also going to attach this website here as well, which talks in depth about those key developmental indicators that HighScope is aligned with. And so each of those categories are listed here. So again, there's that first category, approaches to learning. Under approaches to learning, there are 3 categories or subsets of that. So within approaches to learning, there's initiative and planning, problem solving with materials, and reflection. So under each category, you only have to document 3 anecdotal notes for each category. So you don't have to put 3 in initiative and planning, 3 in problem solving with materials, or 3 with reflection. You can do 1, 2, 3. You can do 2 in here and 1 in here. You know, you can do however you want. But what's great about this website is you can look at this column here under preschool KDIs, and you can see the different standards that, the different descriptors of what that means. And so, for example, let's say for approaches to learning that you want to document something under initiative and planning. And so one of the indicators in initiative and planning is number 2. It says children make plans and follow through on their intentions. And so as you observe, now again, if you're observing in the lab school at Harper College, this is going to be something very easy to observe. Because again, they do that plan, do, review sequence every day. And so you can observe your child, make their plan for the day, and then you can observe the child and see if they followed through. So again, you can detail that information. You can detail how they planned, what type of method they used during their planning, what that child said during their planning, how they communicated their intentions for what they were going to do during work time. And then you can document what happened during work time that showed that they actually followed through on that plan. And then that could be the information that you document for that one anecdotal note under approaches to learning. And then you just need 2 more to go under approaches to learning. So again, there's a lot of different things that you can do. So again, look over this information before you go and observe so that you're familiar with those different categories. You're familiar with the different subcategories as well as the indicators that describe what behaviors the children will be doing in those different categories so you know what types of thing to observe. My advice would be to even print this out, and then as you're observing, you can go through and look and be like, oh, I saw that, and then you can take notes on the side here of what happened, you know, and then take notes here if you saw something there. And that way you'll know exactly what category you recorded that information for and where you're going to need to plug it in whenever we go into the online version of this. And so again, it's a lot of information, but again, familiarize yourself with it ahead of time. Go in with maybe a little bit of a plan, and then as you observe, you can kind of look at these different things and see, hey, am I seeing anything in these different areas? And chances are you're going to see a lot of these things happening. And so just picking and choosing which types of things that you want to document. Now, in addition to that, you're going to have to use this information and kind of talk about the significance of it. So again, whenever you documented this information, what significance does it have? What is it showing about those children's development? So again, keep that in the back of your head too. Don't just record something randomly and not understand it's significant to the development of that child. So again, these are all of those different categories and the subcategories under them. And again, those indicators to help describe what types of behaviors you need to see to show that, yes, they are reflecting behavior in each of those categories. So again, if you have questions about that, please don't hesitate to contact me. But again, as we start to learn more about assessment and assessment methods and observation techniques, this will all start to fall into place. So these 2 websites that I'm giving you, this one about the KDIs and this one about the observation methods and techniques, this is just kind of some pre-information to help you start to familiarize yourself with that information so that you have that going into your observation. If we look back at the course syllabus here, we're at week 5. I'm sorry. Yes, we are at week 5 is where you found this video, obviously. And week 7, so just 2 weeks away, is when we're going to start in that other book, Basics of Assessment. So once we start in this book, you're really going to start to understand what I was just talking about in this video. So if you happen to, I would recommend, my recommendation would be this. The observation strategies paper is due the week after spring break. I would recommend that you schedule your observation the week of March 18th, if you can. And then once you're done with that observation, then you can write that observation strategies paper. Again, that paper is not going to take you that long to write. And it's due the 8th, so you can even, you spent this week. You can have your spring break week to work on it if you want to. And you still have this whole week here to work on it. So I would recommend, trying to wait till maybe the week of March 18th to schedule your observation. If not, that's fine too. If you happen to have any additional questions about the content you're supposed to observe, just reach out to me and I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you, meet with you, and be able to answer any questions and ease any confusion that you may have about this. But I just wanted to let you know, you do have 3 hours of observation that you need to do, and I just kind of wanted to start clearing up what those 3 hours are going to be used for. Again, with this being an online class, being able to communicate and answer questions kind of in that live classroom situation is not available to us. So I wanted just to provide a video hoping to answer some of those questions about what you will be observing and then what those observations will be used for, so that you can kind of narrow that focus down and then be able to collect accurate information to be able to apply to these 2 assignments. So again, hopefully this helped a little bit. If I didn't answer all your questions, or if I even caused you to have more questions, please let me know, because if I find that I didn't fully answer the questions that needed to be answered, or you still have confusion, I want to know that so I can provide further information for you and for your peers, because chances are if you have a question, then someone else has that question too. So for now, I hope that this helps you get on the right track for what you're doing during your observation hours. Let me know if you're having concerns finding a place to observe, or if you have any other questions about that observation assignment. But I feel like our semester is already starting to move by very rapidly, and I didn't want this observation requirement to get swept under the rug and you guys to forget about it. So again, hopefully this answers some questions. If you have any others, please do not hesitate to contact me. I am here for you, and I want you guys to be successful. So please reach out if you need me. Have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.